exactly that. So,
It's not.
all right, welcome to our post-shred meeting. The September shred is over, and this meeting is for the shredders so that you all know what to do between now and the next shred, and also to get your feedback on how the shred went for you. My name is Robin, and I am a nutritionist, and I've been in the industry for more than a decade. And this is actually what I do in real life professionally. I help people with their food and nutrition. So I want to talk about why we started this shred in the first place. If you are a new shredder, an old shredder, in between shredder, you started this because something sounded good to you. It sounded good to remove the foods that weren't serving you and flood your body with the foods that do serve you. So when I talk about why you started, we're going to talk about what to do next. I'm going to talk about that meal plan that you all should have and kind of what to do going forward. But the truth remains the same in terms of what our food is in this society right now, and then the environmental toxins. So when you're doing the shred, you literally are giving your body a jump start. And in that, some of the side effects then could be weight loss, inflammation going down. There's a whole list of things that happen when you flood your body with what it needs. And let me tell you why that happens. You may hear macronutrition. So I want to explain to you a little bit about micro and macro really quick, and then why the shred is so powerful. So macronutrition, in the diet industry, they talk mostly about macros. Did you count your macros? Are you staying in line with your macros? Okay, what are macros? So macros, and we need them, would be your carbohydrates, your fats, and your protein. That's what our body needs to sustain ourselves, right? And we need a balance of that, balance of carbs, balance of fats, balance of proteins. But what you don't hear people walking around talking about is micronutrition. No one is walking around, did you get your micros? Did you get your micros? Well, that's, if we were having that conversation, we wouldn't see the illness and diseases that we see in the society today. So again, that diet industry is having you to focus on macros, but we at the Shred 10 are having you do a balance and making sure that you're flooding your body with micros. And the micronutrition comes from fruits and vegetables. And in that is where you find your vitamins, your minerals, and your phytochemicals. That is your medicine. So when the shredders see such a profound shift in their health, that's why. It's because you're flooding your body with so much of the nutrition that it needs, which is the micros. So I just wanted to put that out there so you all understand that. Now that the shred is over, there's 3 things you can do. And one of them is that you can keep going, that you like what you've discovered, your body is excited, and you just want to keep going. How come? Oh, okay, my screen changed. So you want to keep going. You don't want to change anything, you just want to keep going, right? So the shred is over, but that means nothing to you because you're going to keep going. That's one thing. Or you can say, okay, the shred is over, but I want a little feta cheese in my salad, or can I have a little piece of bread, or whatever the case may be, that you want to stay with some of the things that you've discovered, but you want your coffee in the morning, or you want a little bit of honey in your, in your oatmeal, or whatever the case may be. That's another option. And then the third thing people do, which is what we don't want, is that you just say, you know what, I'm done with this shred. Let me just go back to the way that I was. And you add in everything that you used to do. The goal is to have this to be a jump start, and then you take some of the habits that you've learned and take it into the next 20, 21 days before the next shred. And the idea is that you continue to shred every month as a part of your health regimen, because it is so useful. So again, you can keep going, which is great. You can add back a few things and keep the structure, or you can just ditch it all, which we don't want, and just go back to the way that you were. We don't want that. And that is up to you. Again, we shred every month, the second Monday of every month, so we hope that you all as shredders plan to do it again. So I'm going to talk about the meal plan that you all have, and then we are going to just kind of talk about any shredders want to give their feedback. We'll do that. You all have a meal plan, or you should, and if you don't, then you want to connect with your shred leader to figure out where did that meal plan go. So with the meal plan, it is designed to do a couple of things. It is designed to give you structure or guidance from shred to shred. So when you're not doing the shred and it's not as quote unquote strict, now you have a roadmap to follow in between the shred. And then it is actually designed to as just as a framework and a structure to show you how to eat all the time. So the menu is designed to help you to keep your weight down. It is helps you to keep your blood sugar balanced. All the things that we say that we want. That meal plan is designed to do that. And I want to share with you how to read it and how to understand it. Now, when you see the meal plan, you're going to see 4 weeks, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Now, in between their shreds, there's usually 3, maybe sometimes there's 4 weeks. And the question comes up, well, how do I use it? You can go week by week. If for whatever reason, if you felt like you wanted to start the menu listed as week 3 in the first week, you can, but it just gives you structure and framework so that you have something to follow. The other question that comes up is, well, do I eat the same thing every day? How do I do it? So for example, the first meal will give you 2 or 3 options. It'll give you an option to do a shake or a smoothie. It'll also give you an option to do maybe eggs or tofu. So maybe on Monday you want to do a shake. Maybe on Tuesday you want to do an egg burrito. It gives you, or a tofu scramble. It gives you the option to switch it out. But on that particular week, everything that's listed is the best practices for that particular week. Let's go down to dinner. Maybe dinner, it says 5 ounces of protein of your choice. Then that means you can do chicken, eggs, tofu, tempeh, whatever it is with the guidelines. It also gives you the list of proteins, the list of carbohydrates, the list of vegetables that you can choose from. So you can interchange the proteins as needed. It explains to you which ones are the leanest. It also shows you a list of plant-based ones. So if you're vegetarian or you're vegan, then you would want to insert in the plant-based options. Also, at the end, you're going to see recipes. So all of those recipes are designed to fit perfectly into the nutrition plan. So maybe it says salad and you see a salad in the menu or the recipes that sounds great for you, utilize it. It's designed to give you coverage and a framework, and it's designed to do that for a lot of people with a lot of dietary desires, which is why it gives you options. I made a couple of notes. Oh, and be cognizant of the ors and the ands. So you'll see this or that, and then sometimes you'll see this and that, and that really means and eat that with that, or this or that, either this or that, not and that. And sometimes people will say, that's a lot of food. I can tell you that it is balanced, and it is, if you think it's a lot of food, anyone, then you could cut it down half the protein, half of everything, not just, oh, I'll just eat the oatmeal, but I won't eat the eggs because I think that is too much. It's all balanced to keep the blood sugar and everything on point. So if you change it, what your results will be can be changed as well. Before I move on from that meal plan, are there any questions about the meal plan from anyone? Because I definitely want to answer that from a shred perspective. Let me say this too. The meal plan is as a bonus for shredders, as you all are shredders, but you know that there is gluten in there, there's dairy in there because you're outside of the shred window, so it has some more flexibility. So ask me any questions about, oh, this is what I want to say before you ask me questions. Fruit can be used in place of any carbohydrate. So if the breakfast meal says oatmeal, but you want a pear, go ahead and switch that out for the pear. So, because sometimes people say, well, there's only 1 or 2 pieces of fruit in there. If you want to have fruit, then we're going to sub out another carbohydrate for that. Any questions about the meal plan and how to use that between the shreds? Okay, moving right along. Our next shred starts October the 14th. So you have a whole month or so to not do the shred, and that we hope that you put that on your calendar so that you will return and get ready for that. And we ask that you invite your friends, invite your family and your coworkers, because there's a couple of reasons. It's more fun when you have someone with you that you know, but it's also each one teach one. Like, how dare you get healthy without your coworkers or your family or your friends? And if your family is not shredding with you, it's actually even more challenging for you to sustain if they're not on board. So we want you to rope in everybody that you can, because there's more synergy, and your environment as a shredder it matters. If your environment is not conducive to what you're trying to do, you won't be as successful, research shows, right? So we encourage you to do that. And when you're inviting others to take a look at the shred, whomever your shred leader is, and have them get in touch with, whoever you're inviting. That's how we work this. We have a lot of different shred leaders and health coaches and health enthusiasts, and we just want to make sure that you are inviting them and getting in touch with your shred leader so they can get them on board. And then last, before I open it up for questions and comments, as far as how everyone was doing with their shred experience, is that I also want to put in your ear, those of you that are shredders, that you have the opportunity to become a shred leader. And what is a shred leader? A shred leader is someone who's a past shredder, had a wonderful experience with the shred, is excited to share it with more people, and you want to be a part of our healthy living community where we are keeping educated. It's just a great synergy and a great space to be. So if you are an encouraging person and you have a motivating spirit and an inspirational spirit, get in touch with the person that invited you here and find out more about what it is to be a shred leader or be a part of the healthy living community. All right. So shredders that are out there, I'd love for you all to, and this is the thing, I'm on the West Coast, and most of you, I'm believing, are on the East Coast, and I'm not so familiar with, because I don't think you guys are my shredders per se, so I can't call anybody's name because I don't want to call anybody out. So if anyone is,
I can call some names, Robin.
Okay, good. So if you're, because we want to hear your experience, your thoughts, and all of that as a shredder. So Sandra, if you want to.
Well, let me say first too that there are a couple people who are are not my shredders, but we embrace everybody. So if you guys want to go first, I'll yield. And if you don't know me, then that means you. So yeah.
So Sandra, if you could just, because I heard your story, share your shred experience, because this is the thing. You look like you're 23 and you're not.
She's too kind. No,
I'm telling you. So if you could share your experience as a shredder and what's happened to you, because that's very, very powerful.
Robin is so kind. I turned 60 in December. I still have trouble believing that, but I know it's true. But the beautiful thing is that one of the things that helped me is the shred and all the products that go along with it. I spent a lifetime having iron deficiency and lacking energy. So in the summertime, like now, it's starting to get just 2 degrees cooler, but I would be sucking air trying to breathe outside in the months of July and August, and it would literally drain me. I could not run more than one errand at a time that involved me going from the car and into an air-conditioned building, because I couldn't do it. I also could not go out for an evening event and stay past 8:30, 9 o'clock. We would have to take 2 cars, because my husband would say, yeah, well, tonight I don't mind leaving early, or I want to stay and hang out with our friends. So, you take a second car because you know you're going to want to go to sleep. Or he had to sit in a strategic position so that I could lay my head there and sleep. None of that was fun. I suffered with low back pain, and I had the Friday headache, I call it. And I started on Juice Plus about 4 years ago. I saw my hemoglobin, and that's the measure of your iron. I saw it go from, like a 8.5. So it has been as low as 7. I saw it go to 9. I saw it go to 10. When I got to 11.5, I thought life couldn't be any better because I had never been there. And my question to myself was, why did I have to get to my 50s? I was in my mid 50s at the time. Why did I have to wait so long to know what normal felt like? And it changed everything. I have 2 grandkids and I can keep up with them. When I came to my first conference, Robin, that was in Sacramento 4.5 years ago, my 67-year-old sponsor, I could not keep up with her. I was out of breath. And so now we can walk toe to toe. It's like, give me what you got, cause, and I know I'm saying somebody's 67, but she had been on it 18 years at the time. Okay, so my energy has never been better. My records show that. I can look at pictures of me 5 years ago and see pictures of me now, and I agree that I look better than I did 5 years ago.
So you said you're how old? 60? How old? 60?
I'm 60.
60. That's incredible.
My sponsor is 67, but she does what is that thing, like a canoe when you get out there and you paddle? Kayaking. Yes, I saw your lips, Denise. She does kayaking. She does fierce workouts. But again, she's been on the product over 20 years. So somebody said to me when I had done 2 years, she said, wait until you've done 4.
Wow.
I have to say that I've done 4, but eating these foods, putting kale and spinach in my shakes, and I've been doing smoothies for many years. However, I was lacking all this micronutrition. Mm-hmm.
You said something very powerful that I want everybody to kind of take in, is that the longer you flood your body, the better. Because sometimes people, and I want to say this to shredders, sometimes shredders think, oh, when the shred is over, I'm going to stop taking my capsules or my chewables and stop my shakes. No, keep going. Because the longer you put it in, the more your cells are going to thank you and rejuvenate you and all of that. It is a buildup because our bodies are so much bombarded with all of this googly gump in the world. So we got to keep on putting in the micronutrition. Thank you, Sandra, for that. Love to hear some other shredders talk about their experience. Anyone else willing to come on and share? And if Sandra, if you're wanting to call people out, you
Tammy has her hand up.
Okay, Tammy, go for it.
I'll share a little bit. I have to say, when I first saw the shred guidelines, I was like, oh, there is no way. I love my wine at night. I love my coffee in the morning. And I love queso because I'm in Texas. And I was really afraid of it. But I thought, I'm just going to try this. Nobody's here to beat me down if I don't follow it 100%, right? Well, the one thing that I noticed about myself that I love and continue to notice is that I learn about where my my trigger eating is. Like at night, it's when I want a snack, if I'm having a glass of wine. And I've also noticed that when you do this program, it's not about perfection. It's about progress. And that's what I had to keep telling myself, because when I would mess up, I would beat myself down like, oh my God, I can't do this. I just cannot do this program, and then just forget about it and not do it at all. So I always encourage people now to say, if you mess up, let your next meal be a shake, or let it be something that's Shred approved. And I learned also that inflammation. My body was full of inflammation, and I could see it in pictures. It wasn't like I was losing a ton of weight. It was more that I could see it in my face, around my face, you know, just that inflammation being gone. So putting the proper foods in it. But I keep doing it, and I do a little bit better each time I do it. I'm still not 100%, but I do a little bit better each time I shred. And that's what I like to tell people is just, you know, don't give up. Just keep doing it.
Keep doing it. And yeah, you're right. It's not perfect. Sometimes you're doing, some months are better than others. And just keep going. Thank you so much. A couple more shredders that want to share their feedback. No pressure, but we love to hear it. Again, each one teach one. This is how we learn. This is how we grow. So anyone else willing to share? Yes. Hi, Denise. Unmute you. Let's see. Okay, go ahead. Tell us your story, please.
So I'm kind of like Tammy. My first shred was 2 years ago, but I've been on the Juice Plus products for 17 years, and I was so intimidated. But I was in a health crisis, and my doctor was already telling me you needed to be gluten and dairy free. So I said, oh, let me just try the shred and see if this can help me get back on track. So I had gone actually for blood work because I have hyperthyroid autoimmune disease. And I had gone for blood work in June, and I started the shred in July. And after the first 10 days, I was like, oh, this is so easy. I could really do this. And I just kept going. So I basically live the shred now. And after 2 years, I'm down 80 pounds. So I'm pretty excited about that. So
awesome.
It's been very easy. I've learned the things that I loved before, I've learned to make them shred approved. So I had shared one of the recipes on the page this week. So I really, because there's some things that you just want to have comfort food, or you just want something, and I just learned to make it shred approved. So
thank you for that. It's every time I get the fortune or the blessing to do these calls and just hear from all of the shredders and their stories, it's just so inspirational. And I think, again, we pull each other along. We hear your stories and we're like, okay, I can do it. And so thank you so much.
Can I say thank you to Denise for that comfort food recipe too, because sometimes even in the shred, you just want something that looks cheesy or whatever. You know?
Well, my husband was like, I want ziti. And I'm like, well, I can't have ziti. I'm shredding. So then, and my daughter wanted something. So I thought, oh, well, let me figure out what I can do. And it just was easy.
All right. Anybody else? And we always want to keep our post-shred calls to 30 minutes. We've had them go over before, but which is why we have two of them now, because when we have one big old one, it's a lot of people on there. So
Don, do you want to share? You had a good shred experience. He's on the phone because we have a lot.
Oh, then I have to unmute him or who? Oh,
I can share.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Kimberly.
Hi. This is I've been doing the shred for about 4 months now, and I also was in a health crisis. I had diverticulitis, ended up having 14 of my inches of my colon taken out, and I had issues with inflammation, puffiness, water retention, wasn't feeling well, and my daughter told me about Juice Plus products. So I started about 4 months ago. After my first shred, I lost 15 pounds. I lost a total of 25 now. After this one, I'm about 2 pounds away from my ideal weight where I'd like to be. But it's a lifestyle change. It's a decision. You know, I was the same where I liked the glass of wine and the coffee in the morning. And, you know, you just, during the shred, I don't have any. And then if I go out, maybe I'll have one, that's it. But then I stick with the Juice Plus products. I love the shakes. I'm doing smoothies. I think one of my favorite is just adding a little mint to the chocolate and making like a mint chocolate chip. It's my favorite. I love doing that. My daughter also started the shred. I don't think she's on here tonight. She is working night shift, so she had a tailor. I think Lisa was helping her with that because of her eating. She can't stopping to eat at 7 o'clock was an issue for her because, again, she's working night shift. So I'm not quite so sure how she did total wise, but I did meet up with her a couple times and she's sticking to it as well. So trying to get my family on board.
Absolutely.
And I think I shared a couple of recipes too. I was the one that made I actually made the sweet potato hash with a pico de gallo.
Oh.
Right. That was delicious. That was really, really good.
Yes. All of the posts in our group was so festive and so exciting and great camaraderie with everybody. So thank you all for just being there and sharing recipes and baked ziti and all of the sweet potato hash and all of that wonderful things. Congratulations. So I want to make sure
Can
that.
I share something?
Please do. Josephine,
Hi, everyone.
Okay.
Yes. Am I there?
Yep, you're there.
Oh, awesome. So I've been doing this for about a year now, but the best thing about it, like I think Tammy said, is it gets better each time and it just becomes a lifestyle. It was very hard for me to do it the first time because I come from a place where tea, anytime is tea time and it's loaded with caffeine. So how am I going to give up my tea? But after a while, it's actually been so easy. And the sugar, I'm embarrassed to say that I will literally pour sugar in my tea. Like you're talking about a cup and you're putting like 6 teaspoons of sugar. But now I can enjoy my green tea without sugar or a little bit of honey in it. So it's been a blessing. And I struggled, not so much wanting to lose weight, but feeling good. I was always fatigued and just no energy. I have 4 children and sometimes I'm like, I can't even keep going. But now the energy I have, even my friends are like, what do you do, Josephine? I mean, you can keep going all day. And it's truly, I feel great. I feel amazing. So, and just the joy of just feeling good from the inside, just you can't help to show it on the outside as well. And I wish to all my friends who did the shred for the first time were here tonight, but I think they'll join on the 10 p.m. one.
Okay.
They are so excited. They each have lost more than 10 pounds.
Wow.
And they have, one of them is diabetic and she cannot wait to go to her doctors after 4 months to see what the hemoglobin A1C looks like. And she did much better than I did in my first 4 months for her first month. I'm like so proud of her. So yeah, the more the merrier.
More the merrier, absolutely. Well, everybody, before we go, are there any questions? And some of you all, I know you're on the phone. If you want to ask a question or maybe you feel shy, you are welcome to type in the question and we'll get that answered for you. Just want to make that round again. I applaud you all. I'm always just so grateful. And again, the stories are amazing. Mark your calendars for the 14th of October. And this is a question that comes up. And this is something I really want to say to everybody. Well, people say, oh, should I shred? I'm going to a conference, or this is what I say. Life happens every single month, every single week. There's a holiday, there's a party, somebody was born, somebody passed away, somebody got married. There's always an event. That's the way the society is built. We don't stop for anything. We keep it moving. I shredded one time. I was stuck on a train and the refrigeration went down and they brought in Popeye's chicken. But I had my shake and I was able to keep, and I was on the shred. So you have to adjust in life and we just keep on going. So no matter where you are on October 14th that week, we're still doing it. And we plow through. So we got to eat to live, and sometimes we live to eat, and that's how we get into the predicaments that we find ourselves in. So that's my last words. I'm sending all of you love and blessings, and I look forward to October. You got your nutrition plan. Make sure you have it. You have, I have a question. Fufu cornbread shred approved. Yeah, do you make cornbread fufu, Josephine? Because people are like, well, what is it? So it's an staple. It's made from corn. As long as you don't put sugar in it, then it's okay. Yeah. That is, so fufu is a cultural food in the African culture. And yeah, that's okay. Pre-shred meeting date. The pre-shred meeting date will be on October the 12th. That's a Saturday, and that's at 9 a.m. for everybody's time zone. So for that one, we just do have one. And so unless some East Coast, Midwest, anybody wants to do that, but we can
Well, that's noon our time, so
yeah.
Yeah.
So anywho, there we are, our pre-shred meeting. Our shred September is in the history books, and I'll see you all soon. The group will close down in a couple of days, and you will receive an invite for October. In the meantime, I posted in the group a link to our Facebook page where you can like it and hang out there until the next shred starts. All right, sending everybody love and blessings. Eat well, think well, and be well. This is Robin. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Robin.
Have a
You
good
are
night.
amazing.